Welcome everybody to another YouTube exclusive Voice of Nick episode. We're doing more Shadowrun Returns, and we took down the big ol' bug thing. So now, I guess we would call this the epilogue. I don't know how much, if there's an actual epilogue, but it seems pretty epilogue-esque. The little coroner is surprised to see you, but he can't hide his delight. Hey little Sammy, I was wondering if I was going to see you again. I guess I shouldn't be surprised to find you here. Wherever there's mayhem, that's where you'll find me. I guess so. He pops his eyebrows, eager. You know it's all over the Tri-Vid, right? They found the Emerald City Ripper dead at some asylum out in Snohomish, of all places. Turns out he'd been masquerading as the head administrator or something. They found him dead of some sort of vigilante attack. He leans in, whispers conspiratorially. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? A vigilante attack, huh? Wow. I know, it's fascinating, isn't it? Well, no one can say he didn't have it coming, am I right? He frowns at himself, and that was a double negative. So the big question, what about the dead man's switch? Now that the Ripper's dead, are you going to collect? Right, the dead man's switch. Almost forgot about that. Forgot, come on, how do you collect? I was told I need a secure line to call the number Sam gave me. Can't use my comm link. He brightens. Lone Star's emergency response team set up a secure phone line right here to coordinate their efforts. I can authorize you to use it. Thanks, Dresden. Don't mention it. Take care, little Sammy. Oh, that's it right there. Alright, so that's going to be our objective then. Jake shakes his head, smirking as you approach. When you finally get close, he breaks out laughing. I heard the Universal Brotherhood was getting shot up on the police scanner. I knew it had to be you. Did you get her? Did you doubt I would? Not for a minute. He scratches this mop of red hair. I guess that concludes the story of little Sammy and the dead man's switch, huh? You know, I've been thinking, maybe you should stay in Seattle a while. There's plenty of ways folks like us can get into trouble here. You only skim the surface. I heard Mitsushima's looking for a team, and they specifically want a woman. No idea what that's about. And I just got word that something's going in on Crater Lake. The Tiers got it on total lockdown, no fly zone, the whole thing. There could be something in it for us if we poke around. And there's always the Orc Underground. Haven't seen that yet, have you? I got plenty of friends there who have a good job. Something's bound to come up. What do you say? I'll think about it, Jake. You do that. If you want to find me, I'll be back at McCracken's later. Got a taste for some seafood. Take it easy, chummer. McCluskey's alternating between trying to look important and trying to avoid actual work. What are you looking at, Chube? Hey, McCluskey, I just spoke to Mr. Telestrian. He said you got your lieutenant badge. McCluskey beams, then his brow furrows. I did. I didn't hear about it. Yep, he said to go down to the station house right away. They're throwing a surprise party for you. Ah, Drek, I shouldn't have said anything. He smirks. Heh, I'll surprise them then. Aw. I hope he does get it. Well, he was kind of a jerk. I don't know what I hope for him. The painted elf is watching the scene unfolding around the Universal Brotherhood with a grimace. Well, kid, it's been fun, but I've seen everything I care to see today. I'm gonna get out of here. Is there a problem? He gestures at the crowd as he speaks. Look around. Note the members of the press being shuffled away to the Universal Brotherhood spokespeople to get a private briefing. The Brotherhood is connected. A damage control team is probably on the way right now. You think they can control the press? One way or another they will. If they can't be manipulated, coerced, or bribed, they'll probably disappear. Quietly. There's more, though. He nods his head towards James Telestrian. Note the expression on the UCAS FBI agent speaking to Telestrian. Dismissive, isn't it? That's because there's no love lost between the UCAS and Tier 10 year. They're not going to trust what he's telling them. And frankly, I have no idea what he's telling them. James plays his own game. Always has. The FBI isn't stupid enough to ignore this. Harlequin rolls his eyes. No, of course they're not. Government agencies are well known for their perspicacity, and there's no racism in government. That was wiped out in the 20th century. This is getting fun. He points at someone in the crowd and smiles. The man sees him pointing back and smiles back. That guy there, he's with Ares Macrotechnology. Enormous megacorp, ridiculously powerful. They've been sniffing around Project Aegis for quite a while now. Clearly they have an agenda that's just starting to unfold. He gives the Ares man the finger. The man smiles and returns the gesture. Government, media, business, all working to ensure the truth stays hidden. Not from me. No, not from you. You're a runner, that's the idea. But it's not the giant machination it appears to be. In a way, it's worse. It's a series of conspiracies, conflicting agendas, and petty jealousies, all building upon, feeding upon, and excreting into an unending web of dreck that people wade through every day and call it life. If there was one Dark Lord controlling everything, and we could drive a magic sword through his heart to free the world, that would be grand. Such clarity, such focus. Alas. So what's the lesson in all this? Did it for nothing? He laughs. Just the opposite, schmuck. The lesson in this is the game is rigged. The cards are stacked, the dice are loaded. It's the same as it ever was. Every cycle, people in power exert power. Little power cower in their homes, think what they are told to think, and buy whatever product will help them forget about how horrible their lives are for another day. And that's why we don't play their fragging game. We don't swallow their dreck sandwich and politely ask for another. That's why we run the shadows. That's where the real life is, kiddo. Reality is living in places no one wants you to see. Where's Herr Brackhaus? I thought he'd be here too. He flew back to Berlin. All sorts of things brewing there. He was very impressed with you, though. It could probably turn into work someday, but I'd forget about him if I were you. Never make a deal with the dragon, kid. They're playing a different game entirely. Okay, seriously, who are you, though? A friend. Until I need you for something, then I'm a bastard. See you around, Harley Quinn. Guess that's it, huh? You captured Sam's killer and now he'll get his justice. All that's left is to get paid. It's a little more involved than I expected. She looks back at the Universal Brotherhood. Just a little. Coyote grins. First time. Well, I'm gonna grab Paco, head back to the Union, maybe watch a tri-vid or something, and I could use a long shower too. After that, back to destroying the BTL trade? Nah, like I said, that's over. I'm gonna take care of Gino, get him back to health, but no more storming BTL labs. Good to hear. That last place was run by the Yakuza, and they're not going to forget you. Her jaw sets, her eyes harden, and she's Coyote again. Let them come. If the Yakuza wants me, they're going to find me. Nothing I can do about that. Some people choose to live in fear, but not me. Not today. Today I run the shadows. Get paid, get dirty. See you around, little Sammy. You're quite a lady. I can honestly say I've never met an elf quite like you. The phone before you has a simple numerical keypad. You can use it to call Sam's law firm and cash in on the dead man's switch. You tap the phone numbers Sam's lawyer gave you days ago. Oh, you tap in the phone number Sam's lawyer gave you days ago. The phone rings 7 times before someone finally answers. The image of the lawyer on the other end of the vid phone is noticeably different from the one you saw a few days ago. The noise in the background seems like it's coming from a bar. Yeah? He squints into the phone and recognition slowly appears on his face. Oh, hey, it's you, little Sammy, right. So you got Sam's killer, huh? Yeah, I got Sam's killer. That's great. Hang on, let me slot Sam's video in for you. He fumbles for a moment and the camera jerks crazily. Then it goes to static and is replaced by Sam. Good old Sam. Sam still looks like Drek, same clothes, same background, probably shot at the same time as the first video. Hey, buddy, looking good, looking good. He giggles. If you're calling this number, that means the job is done, right? He closes his eyes, shakes his head. Congratulations, amigo. I knew you'd do it. You were always the dependable one. More than me, anyway. He looks back at you, trying to speak soberly. I just want to say thank you for, well, whatever you did. It means a lot. Not even knowing what you did, it still means a lot. Because I know you did something. You know what I mean? I know you made it right somehow. He pauses, tilts his head back, his breath hitches in his chest. You're the only one, the only one who ever tried to help me. Ever. Except my sister. She tried. More than once. She tried. I never let her, though. Never let her in. I regret that. A lot. Did I ever tell you about her, buddy? We're twins. Well, we were twins, I guess. You still a twin after one of you dies? I don't know. Doesn't matter, I guess. He sighs, heavy. God, listen to me. Do me a favor, will you? If you talk to her, her name's Jessica. Tell her I'm sorry, okay? For everything. She'll know what for. She's Catholic, so she'll forgive me. I need her to forgive me. Just tell her I love her. He straightens himself, shakes it off. The grin is back. Anyway, you need to get paid, which would be great, except for one thing. I got nothing. Never did. You know how it is, right? Sorry, but hey, thanks again for giving a crap. Seriously, I appreciate it. Tell you what, if you feel sore about it, look into my family background a bit. There's got to be people with money in there somewhere. Maybe one of them can throw you a few bucks. Take care, amigo. See you in hell. He reaches forward and shuts off the camera. The vid screen goes to static and the call ends. There's a moment of silence and then you feel a tug on your jacket. It's Dresden. So, what did he say? Oh, he told me to never trust a dead man. The Emerald City Ripper killings are sensationalized for several weeks. Lurid reports focus on the killer masquerading as the administrator of Mercy Mental Hospital. Soon after, pop singer Maria Mercurial is cast as the lead in Dr. Ripper, a tri-vid thriller about a reporter who goes undercover as a mental patient to uncover a serial killer. Seattle Newsnet reports a shootout at a chapter house of the Universal Brotherhood. Witnesses claim that a gang of religious fanatics stormed the building for unknown reasons but committed suicide before they could be captured. All mention of insect spirits, James Celestrian III, or Shadowrunners are kept out of the news. 1 year later, the city of Chicago declares a quarantine area between Lake Michigan and the Des Plaines River. Officially, Chicago Containment Zone is established to fight an outbreak of an infectious virus, but an infestation of insect spirits is suspected by those who know. A mature form of Project Aegis called Fabs 3 is eventually deployed to remove the bug threat from Chicago. The Watts family name has since been lost to the shadows. A Harebrained Schemes production. Harebrained Schemes is a small team of passionate game developers led by Jordan Weissman, the creator of Shadowrun, Crimson Skies, Battletech, Mech Warrior, and many other acclaimed properties. Founded in 2011, the Seattle-based studio is centered around collaboration between seasoned veterans and fresh talent. Wow, I didn't realize the creator of Shadowrun actually did this game. That's awesome. Good stuff, ladies and gents. Another YouTube exclusive, polished off. I really enjoyed this one. I had played this back when it came out. This was 8 years ago already. This came out in 2012, and I loved this game. But it has 2 expansions, which are, in this sense, like entire new campaigns. The one we played is called Dead Man's Switch, which is, one storyline that takes place in the larger Shadowrun Returns, kind of like tapestry. So the expansions, I assume, are equivalently fleshed out as this, but just other campaigns. The next one I believe is Dragonfall, which I think I own, and then there's another one after that that I don't own. So I would love to play more of these. Keep your eyes out for that. But if you guys aren't subscribed on this YouTube channel already, these Shadowrun Returns videos are done, but we come out with YouTube exclusives every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 times a week. So the next one will be coming up whichever of those days is next for you, whenever this is coming out. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll see all these videos happening, and you'll find out what the next gameplay series is in a couple of days. So yeah, let's go through the credits here before we call it a show. I'm really excited to play more Shadowrun Returns, though. I super duper enjoyed this. A lot of great characters and a lot of good voices to do. The mark of a good game for voicing is that there's a lot of very distinct characters, but also not too many characters. Because a lot of times there'll just be like a million characters and you can't really differentiate them, and especially if you don't have a face to put to the name, it's really hard for me to, keep all the voices straight of like who's saying what. But this one I enjoyed a lot. We definitely changed a few of the voices as we went through, but I like what we arrived at. So these are, I believe, just Kickstarter people. I think this game was supplemented by Kickstarter donations. So we're just gonna, no disrespect to the Kickstarter people, you can still see the names, but whenever a game is Kickstarted, there's like a trillion credits listed out because they have to list every single backer. Luckily, they have a fast forward button on here, which is kind of cool. Also, is this a rewind or is this just a slow down? Yeah, look at that, you can rewind. So especially if you did kickstart this game, that's a really cool feature because you don't want to have to watch the whole credit sequence and then miss your name when it comes up. These must be the different tiers because it started from it's gone from A to Z 3 times now, but it doesn't say like tier 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Oh yeah, it did it again. So this must be the next tier. And this must be a more expensive tier because it's getting fewer people in each one. There's a huge amount of backers. I mean, it really is a triumph. And this game, as I mentioned when we were playing through it at one point, it actually has a super robust campaign editor. So you can make your own levels. Like they have all of the assets kind of laid out in a really, really intuitive level designer. You can tie those together with story beats and create your own characters. And I messed around with it for a while back when this game originally came out. It's like really well done. So if you want to tell your own stories and stuff in this sci-fi universe, you could totally do that. Another interesting note about Shadowrun in general is that at the same time that this game was getting developed, I believe in the same release year as Shadowrun Returns, another Shadowrun revival game came out. Because they must have licensed the property to 2 different developers or something. Because there was a second Shadowrun game that came out called Shadowrun... Crap, I can't remember what it was called. But it was like... It had Shadowrun in the name, it's just like another Shadowrun game. That was also pretty good. It wasn't as much of an story-based RPG, if I recall correctly. It was more like action RPG, almost like a Diablo type thing. But I liked it a lot. I think this one kind of clicks more with what I'm interested in a game, though, with like a lot of characters we can voice and, you know, like dialogue, stuff like that. But I actually am curious to, once we're done with this credit sequence, I'm curious to look in my Steam library and see what that other Shadowrun game was called. It's not Shadowrun Returns, it's something like that though. It's like Shadowrun... I wouldn't even be able to guess. Something like that though, like Shadowrun Revived or something. Very confusing, I imagine, if you're trying to buy the game. But yeah, Harebrained has done a few really cool projects since Shadowrun Returns as well. And I'm excited to play more of those. Let's see what Harebrained has done since Shadowrun Returns. I don't want to skip the credits too, so we got to keep an eye on this. Oh, they're based in Seattle, Washington. I guess that makes sense why they set the game in Seattle. I don't know, I always just think it's a little suspicious whenever a game is not set in New York or LA. I don't know. Maybe that's just like a predisposition or something, but like when it's in like another place, it's like, oh, maybe they're from there, which in this case they are. Okay, so yeah, they did Battletech, which came out a couple years ago, that I also own. Apparently, Jordan Weissman also created Battletech, so I'm really interested to play that game then. That's a game, I believe it's the same style of game, but it has mechs and stuff, so you know I'm down for that. All right, also, this might be looping through the Kickstarter people. I don't know how it would do that, because it didn't show any of the other developers, but... Nope, that's it. Oh yeah, we're right though, it is looping through the whole credit sequence. Good stuff. Thank you, Shadowrun Returns. Amazing stuff. This, see, the executable actually just shows Dragonfall now because that's the expansion that's the newest expansion that I bought. And then content, you can see that there's all this other stuff. So there's Dragonfall, Berlin area. I guess they have another zone. And then like environments and tile sets, props, editor tutorials. Like I had all these tutorials. You can subscribe on Steam Workshop to other people's campaigns, as well as other people's like asset libraries, and these are character profiles from like the original Shadowrun, you know, like Monster Manual. Shadowrun, the base game, is like a Dungeons and Dragons type of thing, like a tabletop RPG. So you can straight up pull the stuff from that. There's a lot of cool stuff in this. Like, if you're trying to make stuff, it's really exciting. Like, if you're a creative person like that, you want to make things, it's really, really exciting in that sense. Oh, Shadowrun Chronicles is the other game. So this is Shadowrun Returns. This is Shadowrun Chronicles. Also, it looks like there's a Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut, which I've never even touched before. I don't know if there's like more content in that or what. But this is the other Shadowrun game, for anybody who's curious. So the one that we played is this. I'll show it to you guys on the video in case you want to buy it yourselves. Shadowrun Returns. This is what we played. You recognize all this. It's on Steam. Apparently it's 15 bucks. Get it. Highly recommended. Shadowrun Chronicles is the other one, which I also remember enjoying. I liked this one more. What is the Shadowrun Complete Collection? I don't own this. This has Returns, Dragonfall, and Hong Kong, the 3 DLCs. And it looks like Returns has Deluxe DLC as well. Alright, we're learning a lot of stuff, but I'm curious what Shadowrun Chronicles is. Boston Lockdown. It looks like they have other versions on this too. And Chronicles is like RPG turn-based. Okay, so it might be the same type of game then. I don't even remember. But I think it was less kind of like story-focused than Shadowrun Returns. It's also less kind of like coherently stylized. I really enjoyed the artwork in Shadowrun Returns. But yeah, this one was also pretty good. But yeah, Shadowrun Returns I enjoyed a whole lot. Thanks guys for joining on this one once again. Make sure you join for the next one. I don't know what it'll be. Well, I know what it'll be. You don't yet, but you'll see on the next time we do one of these. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.